Welcome to the Let's Talk Events podcast. Let's take a look at some of the events and activities that are happening in September here in Oshkosh. I'm Andy Radig from Oshkosh Media, and joining me is Kathy Snell, the Special Events Coordinator for the City of Oshkosh. Kathy, welcome, and how has the summer been going this year?
Thank you, Andy. It's been great. We've had a ton of events going on, and people are really enjoying themselves.
Yeah, and it's been a great summer. I know that people have been talking about all the different types of things going on around the community, and it's been exciting to talk about all these different things. And gosh, we have summer is not ending. We have a long list of things that are coming up here in September. So there's a lot going on.
School may be back in session, but that does not mean it's the end of event season.
Right. Oh, for sure. As I can see by what we all have coming up here today, there's quite a bit. So stay tuned to our podcast to learn about a lot of interesting things that are happening. So I know one thing that has been continuing this summer is Music on Main, and that's been well received.
Yeah, they do a great job of bringing in some different musicians throughout the summer months they have, and looking forward to that continuing throughout the month of September. This is hosted on Wednesday evenings in Opera House Square, beginning at 4 p.m. Typically, they bring in the musicians, of course, for the music, but then they do also have food trucks and the ability also to utilize Dora, the downtown outdoor recreation area. So Dora is actually going on at the same time as this event. So we actually have Market Street closed for a full closure, and people can actually go over and get some drinks at the Grand Opera House. So right across the street there, they can take their drinks and walk into the park and enjoy an evening with food, beverages, and some live music.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, it's a nice Wednesday night type of thing to do. So,
and they've recently had some great weather for that.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, also downtown we have the farmers market that continues on Saturdays.
Yeah, again, we've talked about this before, Andy, and I can't say it enough. If you haven't been down to the farmers market, get down there. Great time to get your fall favorites. This will continue throughout October, actually. So we're not even coming to an end this month, but we have another month to go. So every Saturday morning in the 400 and 500 blocks of North Main Street, come on down. We have over 140 vendors down in the market.
Yeah, and I know it's more than just a farmer's market per se. It's really an event with some music. I believe there's some things that children can keep occupied with, entertainment of different types, and plenty of food that you can actually purchase and eat, consume right there on site.
And if people love fresh cut flowers, wow, what a great place to pick some up on a Saturday morning. Right.
There's a little bit of everything there, every type of thing that you might want. So it's more than your typical produce market, let's just say. There's a lot going on.
There is. And I just want to remind everybody, too, that is a full closure of North Main Street from Algoma to Irving Avenue. So just keeping that in mind as you navigate your way through the farmers market area. Also, we are going to be wanting to remind people that the Oshkosh Main Street Bridge is closed. So there is no access to the downtown through that area. So please be sure to adjust your routes and get down there a different way.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing to keep in mind. Main Street Bridge will be closed now through, I believe it's April of next year.
It's a long time, so get used to running around there.
yeah, that alternate route for getting through downtown. So for the farmers market, if anyone wants more information, I believe their website is osfmi.com, and people can learn more about the Oshkosh Saturday Farmers Market.
Absolutely. And just as a reminder, too, again, that the market starts at 8 a.m. and they close at 12:30 p.m. That gives their vendors plenty of time to get out in the afternoon. So just, again, be sure to come on down and check that out. They've won awards. It's a great market.
We look forward to it every summer in downtown Oshkosh. All right, then, Kathy, we have another event that I'm not very familiar with. It's called the Rethink Addiction Run, and that is scheduled for September 13th.
It is. This is a run that is sponsored by the Solutions Recovery Center. So it really is to raise funds and awareness for the Recovery Center. Just what it is, addiction run. So if you know someone or somebody you love is in a situation where they need some support in their walk of life, please be sure to come down, check this out. And again, it's not just a fundraiser. It's about raising awareness for these types of situations. Again, that event begins at 8 a.m. At the Solutions Recovery Center. They are located on Evans Street. So the walk will actually start there and go down to Menominee Park, throughout the park, and then back to the Solutions Recovery Center on Evans Street.
And they have a lot of different things going on outside of the run as well, looks like.
They do, yeah. Right at the Recovery Center there, they will have food trucks, community booths for that awareness that we just talked about, kid zones, and more. So lots of fun. It's all about having a good time and learning about things in your community.
And obviously, since this is a walk-run event, there would be some closures involved with some roads.
Yeah, we will have Evans Street closed for the duration of that event. Other impacted roads will be East Parkway and Irving. Those will be impacted with in the very beginning, a small closure for the beginning, and then on the return route, people will be on sidewalks, but we also just ask people to be very cautious as they're coming through and returning to the center. They will have some lane closures and things like that, so just be aware and be attentive of people who are walking in that area throughout the event.
So just to recap, that's the Rethink Addiction Run. That's September 13th, and that is located on Evans Street at the Solutions Recovery Center, and the event itself begins at 8 a.m., and there's plenty to do with that as well, with the food trucks and different things going on there. So looking forward to that. And then we also have, and I know that we've talked about these a few times, there's another one coming up. It's a cruise night, September 18th, brought to you by Artie and Ed's Drive-In.
Yeah, so if you haven't been to this one, this is the last one of the season. So be sure to get out. Again, that date is September 18th, right at Artie and Ed's Drive-In. Grab a bite to eat and some of that homemade root beer and check out the classic cars. And that starts at 5 p.m. on September 18th. And we do have some road closures associated with that as well. We do. Doty Ave from 24th Street south throughout the cul-de-sac is all closed during that time. While the rest of the area may not have closures, we want to just ask people to please be careful if you're in the event areas. 24th Street is a very busy street. This is at prime time when we've got businesses in the area that are letting out for the day. So please just drive carefully and be aware that there is an event in that area that day. Well, it's a great opportunity to see some classic cars of different vintages and kind of have the whole vibe of a 50s drive-in and the classic cars, and it's a great opportunity to enjoy some good food and some good drinks and see some fun cars. Yeah, it's super fun that we have a couple of those drive-ins here in Oshkosh, and if people haven't been out to those, I encourage people to. It's just kind of a fun evening for whether you're just stopping for a malt, a shake, some ice cream, or to get a whole meal. They're so much fun to just be at. Right, yeah. Not every community has those sort of things. Like if you go for some ice cream or something like that, like you said, it's a great opportunity. Sometimes I know that I've had some family members come to visit Oshkosh, and we might go to Leon's and then have a little ice cream or something, and they think, wow, this is really great because we don't have this where we're from. So it's kind of fun to do that. Yeah, I know during EAA too, that's Artie and Ed's is a great spot for people who want to go out for that too. So whether you're on the south side or the north side of town, it's just so much fun to have these opportunities right within our communities. Absolutely. And another great opportunity for another cruise night. All right, then we have another event coming up on September 20th. It's the Walk to Defeat ALS, and I believe this is a new event as well, if I'm... It's not new. It doesn't happen. It happens once a year. This is actually their second annual here in Oshkosh, so we're excited to welcome them back. But it is an opportunity. Most of these events are returning from year to year, which is great. But when we get one of these that comes in, they came to us last year saying, "Boy, we think Oshkosh would be a great place to have to host our event. We're so excited to see that. We love to see people who want to come here and bring these types of things to our community. Again, this is not just a fundraiser. It truly is an awareness walk. Again, those suffering from ALS, or if you have loved ones who are suffering from these things, what a great chance to get out and network with individuals who are going through things that you are or maybe already have gone through. So come on out and join the ALS Walk to Defeat ALS on September 20th. This is going to be out at Menominee Park. They'll have registration and activities in and around the Kiwanis shelter. So that's shelter 1 in the park. That check-in will begin at 8:30 in the morning, and the official start of the walk will be at 10 a.m.
And I know that there's currently some road construction, reconstruction that's occurring in Menominee Park. And if you have any details on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So Seward Trail in Menominee Park this year is the trail that's going to be impacted by construction. What we are able to do is keep some intersections open. So if you're going down to Menominee Park for whatever reason, whether it's for this event or for something else that you're going down to the park for, just know that the only entrances that you'll be able to access in there going to that what would it be, the southeast end of the park, you're going to want to go in on Merritt Avenue. And we are leaving, like I mentioned, some of those intersections open. So at Parkway, there'll be an intersection that you can leave the park. And then obviously if you're going to the north end of the park, you're going to want to enter on Irving or the boat launch area parking just north of the Ball Diamonds. So just be aware as you're in and out of that area for events or for your day-to-day. Just keep in mind that is happening down there throughout the next few months.
And with this particular event, the Walk to Defeat ALS, that event itself takes place on the trails and the sidewalks within the park. Is that correct?
Yeah, we had to switch up this route a little bit this year, and that's something that we do with a lot of walks. We run into construction all over the city, right?
Sure.
So this was just another one of those times that we had to find a route that worked for them. So last year they were inside the entire Menominee Park. This year, due to that construction and the trail being a little messy over by Seward Trail, we're actually having them exit on Merritt. They're going to come back outside the park, utilize the sidewalks and trails outside of Menominee Park, and then come back in on that trail and back to the Kiwanis shelter. So they'll have signs up. They'll have people helping to direct that traffic and pedestrian traffic. So just be mindful and be aware that there is a project going on in that area. And boy, we can't wait for next summer because both of those trails will be all taken care of.
Right. We recently had other construction that took place in Menominee Park, so it'd be good to have everything all refreshed and open again. And
yeah, absolutely. And keep in mind too, watch for the Menominee Park Zoo will still be open through this month. They are going to be closing in October, or at the end of September, as they have for just 2 weeks, and then they will be opening back up in October as we did last year. That was just such a hit for people to be able to still have the zoo available throughout the fall and winter months. So just again, keeping in mind that some of that construction may be there, but the zoo is still open.
And I know that these event organizers value your assistance with these route changes and whatever needs to happen. So that's all part of this planning process, and we can talk about that maybe a little bit later. But that's all part of having an event, really.
It is.
Yeah. Well, then we have another event coming up on September 20th. It's the POW-MIA Remembrance Ceremony. That is September 20th, and that is hosted by the Vietnam Veterans Association, Chapter 437.
Yeah, and before we get into too many of those details, for those that are unfamiliar with what this day is, September 20th marks the remembrance of service members who've never made it home. Even today, there are thousands of U.S. service members who are considered prisoners of war or missing in action. This is a chance for us to gather and make sure that all servicemen and women who served in our wars, in all wars, are remembered and recognized. That is hosted at the South Park area near the War Memorial at 1 o'clock. as you mentioned, on September 20th.
So definitely a thing to put on your calendar for that remembrance ceremony, September 20th. And as you had mentioned, in South Park near the War Memorial at 1 o'clock p.m. on that day.
I think this is just a great opportunity to support these organizations in our community, too, that do so much. I'm not sure how many people are aware, but our Vietnam Veterans Association is also a huge part of the 4th of July parade, our Memorial Day procession. So, get out there and support the causes, the things that they are bringing to our attention and remembering those service members.
I know that oftentimes throughout the year they have different spaghetti dinners and different types of events that are fundraisers. So, keep them in mind even when it's the middle of winter and they have an event happening. Help them to with their fundraising and definitely keep them in mind for they need support year round.
And never feel like you can't support them in other ways by volunteering for some of the things that they have in place too. These organizations, as we all know, their members continue to get older, and they do need individuals who can help to continue that service and that recognition for people.
That is very true as well. And then I know that the Parks Department, actually speaking of volunteers, the Parks Department is always looking for volunteers for different events and things too.
We absolutely are, which leads us to the next thing. Our Touch a Truck event is coming up on September 20th as well. So come to the service, but be sure to come out and check out, before that, the Touch a Truck event with your family. This is a free community event hosted by the Oshkosh Parks Department at the Leach Amphitheater. Yeah,
it's a great event every year, a great opportunity for the children to come out and kind of see some of the heavy equipment that is used in different city departments. And instead of playing with their toy trucks, they can actually see a real one and actually climb on it and be allowed to do so.
Yeah, sit in it, explore that heavy equipment. There's trucks from all over the community. So these area businesses, this is a chance for them to come out, bring that stuff out and show it off a little bit.
Sure. And this is a free event, so there's no charge. Okay.
Correct. There are food trucks, so people do have the opportunity to purchase food and beverages, but the event itself is free.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And again, that's at the Leach Amphitheater, which is in downtown Oshkosh on September 20th. And the event runs from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., I believe. Is there anything else that we should know about Touch a Truck or...
Just that there's all kinds of other things too. Games, hands-on activities, building projects. And again, I can't say it often enough. If you're interested in volunteering, please contact the Parks office. They would be happy to have you.
Okay. We'll keep that in mind for sure. I know that there are plenty of opportunities available there. Well, then we also have another walk-run event. We have a lot of walk-run events.
September's a great time for that.
Yeah, I would say so. It's maybe hopefully not quite so hot, but yet it's not cold yet. So the Walk to End Alzheimer's, and that is September 27th.
Yeah, this group has been with us for several years.
Okay.
They've moved around a little bit throughout our community. Previously, they also were down in Menominee Park, but most recently, they've been over at our Rainbow Memorial Park area. So this year, they are at Rainbow Memorial Park. If you're familiar, there is a concrete pad to the northwest of Rainbow Memorial Park. We do host the Bruised by the Waterside, as it is now called. Mm-hmm. Bruised by the Waterside, we do host this in that area as well. They will be taking over that concrete pad area on September 27th. They will have other booths and information available. Again, if you or someone you know and care about is going through this, or families who are going through with having a family member that has Alzheimer's, this is just such a great support group for people to, again, meet other people going through situations very similar to yours, to, connect with organizations that are there to help and support families. So, again, that is the Walk to End Alzheimer's on September 27th at Rainbow Memorial Park.
Okay, and I don't believe there are any road closures associated with this one.
That's correct, Andy. No road closures. This walk utilizes all of our trails and street sidewalks. So while you may not have road closures per se, we do want to, again, caution people at intersections because we will have people out there crossing intersections in large groups. And
so for this one in particular, for this event, the registration begins at 8:30 in the morning, and they're having a opening ceremony at 9:40.
Yeah, and right after that, immediately following that ceremony, the walk will begin. So typically around about 10 a.m., this one gets started too, but it will follow that opening ceremony.
Okay. Again, that's the Walk to End Alzheimer's, September 27th at Rainbow Memorial Park. So looking forward to that event as well. And just to recap a couple things, I know that we always have a lot of events that are going on every year. And just to remind folks about if they have an event coming up, what would be their first step as far as trying to get the process going?
First step is to truly either check out our special events website page on the City of Oshkosh and Parks pages. Otherwise, to contact the Oshkosh Parks office directly and ask for the special events coordinator. Myself, Kathy, is there to support people, answer questions, try and help them navigate that planning process. A lot of people think that when you plan an event, it's just real simple and easy, and it's not always that way. So I love the chance to talk to new organizers and even those who have been having it for a few years. Maybe we're running into a construction project. Maybe we need to look at a new route for various reasons. It's a great chance to just really sit down and talk about those plans. The Common Council does have to approve any special event application that's put in. Therefore, we do ask that those applications are submitted a minimum of 60 days in advance. It takes us a little bit to get some of those resources and staffing scheduled if we need to do that. And again, it's just a great opportunity for event organizers to also take a little bit of time, look over their logistics, and truly promote their event. Because without that promotion, those first-year events can be real tricky to get people out to.
Yeah, and I know that you would really like to see any 2026 events, have them approach you now to get that process going.
Absolutely. The sooner the better. It's a great opportunity for us to really get down into the weeds and figure out what it is that you truly need. We understand that some of those events may not have all of their plans together right away today, but start the conversation, start the application process. We can definitely make tweaks along the way, but the sooner we have the information, the better it is for all of us.
Yeah, and it's in their best interest as well, because you're able to help them, and maybe navigate some items that they might not have thought of.
Absolutely. We run into that a lot with different organizations. The trickiest parts are temporary structures, bringing in temporary structures. What do you need? Sometimes that means that you even might have to have state approval. And so it's a great opportunity for us to have a chance to kind of talk to you about those things and what is needed. Selling alcohol is not just simple and easy. The state of Wisconsin has some pretty strict guidelines as to how you need to do that. So we'd really like to have those conversations in advance.
A lot of things to consider. And as we were talking about with some of the other events, sometimes there's road construction happening, and it's hard to have a walk or run event when the route might be ripped up.
That is very true. And I always laugh because when I first started in this position, we actually had a situation where we had a load of gravel that was dumped in the middle of the road. I got a phone call at about 4:00 in the afternoon from the police department, and they're like, "Look, we don't know what to do. There's a bunch of gravel sitting in the middle of this roadway, and we have about 1,000 people coming through here within an hour." So we are well past that. I am happy to report that our special events process has really improved. Many times, if you come to us with the information a year ahead of time, much of that time, we can tell you that there's something going on that far in advance. There obviously are situations that we can't foresee that might pop up, But again, our Public Works Department has just been incredible in communicating those last minute things as well. And people think like, well, what could be last minute? Well, you might have a pipe main break. There might be any of those situations that might occur, and that can throw a loop for all kinds of things. So as I said, I'm happy to report that I think our process is really good, and we have some great communication throughout our departments. And
I know that you are very well connected, not only with other city departments, but community organizations. And sometimes if maybe an organization is planning an event and they might need some additional support, you might be able to link them with another organization.
Absolutely.
Or something like that.
Yes.
So,
I love the chance to be able to connect people that way.
Yeah.
But the other thing, too, is what people really oversee sometimes is between Discover Oshkosh and my calendar that I hold, boy, are we able to tell you what else is going on in the community that could potentially impact the attendance at your event. So that's also really huge. We want to make sure that you have a successful event, and we want to make sure that we don't have too many competing events on the same day, right? We want to make sure that you can have people attend your event that aren't already going somewhere else.
Yeah. All the more reason to plan ahead. And especially if someone's thinking about an event for next year, let's say, you might already have something on the calendar for that date that they have chosen. And
that's
so
correct,
you can kind of help them out with that. So, yeah. Well, there's so much that you provide as support and assistance for events organizers. And thank you for all that you do to make all of this go smoothly.
Well, thanks. It's a great job. I truly enjoy it. I mean, the amount of time that we get to spend with these event organizers, and just, I think I've mentioned it before, Andy, but boy, I mean, I would guess maybe between 80 and 90% of these organizations that host events here in Oshkosh are nonprofit organizations, which means that they probably have touched your life, my life, somebody we know in some way. So whatever we can do to support that cause, I'm all for it.
It's important to be mindful of what goes on, why these events sometimes are happening. They're trying to assist. Really, it comes down to helping people. So, well, Kathy, we had a lot to talk about this month, and I know we'll probably have a lot more coming up next month. So we invite everybody to check us out when the next podcast drops. But we appreciate everybody's time listening in this month. So I'm Andy Raddick from Oshkosh Media.
And I'm Kathy Snell, Special Events Coordinator for the City of Oshkosh.
Thanks again for listening to Let's Talk Events.